Alright. Was it a break week last week? I think it might have been a break week last week. So, it's been about a week. I vaguely don't even remember what happened in the last chapter, to be honest. So I'm actually going to take a quick little minute here to look at last week's chapter. Let me see if I can find it. Uh, bu- 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 bu. Let's just jump to 1156 real quick, because I'm not entirely sure. So this was last week's chapter. Got a color spread, apparently. Idols, that's right! Last week's chapter was about the Kuja pirates and more stuff about the Rocks pirates. That's what it was about. Anyway, let's move back to chapter 1157. That's this week's chapter. Legendary Bar, and we have a Yamato cover story, which means we get to be complaining again about Wano again. I said that there was going to be a few more chapters left of this story. Anyway, chapter 1157, Legendary Bar. But I guess before that, I edited the most recent video that's going to be going up on the channel, actually, will be the playthrough of Genshin's Nod Cry Prelude. That's going to be going up, hopefully, like, first thing in the morning. I'm going to be putting chapters and a thumbnail on it immediately after I finish this stream. So, you should expect to see that up on the channel probably before the day turns over. And then I will upload this at around, like, 6 p.m. on Tuesday, so that the videos don't cannibalize each other in the algorithm. So this video is actually going to be getting out a little bit late, just so that a video from last week can go up on the channel. But, since things are probably out of order, anyway, it is 10 p.m. on the 18th. It's been effectively 2.5, almost 3 weeks since I've injured my leg. Occasionally, it'll hurt quite a bit, and then occasionally it won't for long periods of time. So, I think there might be some internal damage. I might have to get it x-rayed. There's probably some permanent damage in the leg, because it is, despite the fact that I have mostly full motion of it, the fact that if I trip, it feels like I just got hit with a baseball bat kind of sucks. Not gonna lie. I hope to have been fully healed by now, but I'll give it one more week. At least I'm, like, able to walk around, and it's not, like, inhibiting my ability to do anything. It's just, I'm a fragile man. Anyway, one last thing before we begin. If you want to know when I'm going to be going live and what I'm going to be doing when I go live, the best way to do that is to follow me on Discord, because that's where I basically post all that stuff. And you can also get live health updates and stuff like that. If you care about me as a person, that's where you go. If you care about me as a content, that's also probably where you go. Beyond that, let's just get into this. Alright, Wano rant time. Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage. Yes, I still remember how to speak in this tone for these openings. Volume 39. He fought against Kaido to protect his village, but perished without leaving a body behind. So we're visiting the grave of a certain hero, but I feel like this narrows it down a little bit further. Is this, the daimyo that was one of the three guys that was imprisoned with Yamato as a child? That's who I think this might be for. Or maybe this is Odin's grave. I don't really know. Fought against Kaido to protect his village, but perished without leaving a body behind. So the Yakuza member's here, Okiku's here, and Yamato's here. And then there's a snowman in the distance that kind of looks like Kaido. So, not sure what's going on with that, but this seems to be a straightforward cover story picture. Cover story chapter. Not much is going on. So, this means that we're still in Ringo. We haven't left back for the Flower Capital, which means I feel like we got maybe 3 more chapters of this cover story left, or pages, or volumes. That's what they call them. So I think it's going to be like 43 to 46. So we gotta say goodbye to people at Ringo. We gotta make our way to the Flower Capital. Something could happen on the way to the Flower Capital, and then we're going to arrive at the Flower Capital. And then, once we've arrived at the Flower Capital, maybe we'll end it with Yamato leaving on a new journey. That's my prediction for where this goes from here. And for the most part, yeah, I think that sums that up. Well, anyway, let's go back to the top of the page again, because it is chapter 1157, Legendary Bar. Are we going to finally find out what's going on with Ida? Are we going to finally see what happened to the Ida in this chapter? Is Ida going to die horribly, tragically? That's my chapter prediction. I actually haven't seen any spoilers because, like, I've been so focused on, like, editing streams lately that it just eats up all my day. Or I've been so focused on streaming lately. We streamed 5 times last week. That is, like, more than double what I normally do. When there's a chapter to read, that'll be, like, the third, or the... Technically, I do these on Sunday through Monday, so this will usually be the first thing that I stream for the week. But yeah, like, if there's a chapter, I'll try to stream 3 times a week. But if there's not a chapter, I'm basically only streaming, like, once or twice a week. Because I don't have an editor, so I have to, like, chop up and edit my streams themselves. But these One Piece streams were mostly added so that I could share my opinions and reactions to reading the One Piece chapters, and also because it basically allows me to just take a break, because they don't take anywhere near as much time to edit, because I don't edit these really much anymore, unless there's, like, something that comes up that causes me to have to, like, leave the stream mid-stream and come back. Beyond that, these can just go straight up to the channel as VODs. Part of the inspiration for that is that's how Randy Troy does it. Anyway, let's get to page 2 and 3. Alright, that's right. We're still in a flashback, so we got the black paneling. M. Bezel. International Charity Sanctuary. That is not a good name for an international charity. Embezzle. It just makes me think of embezzlement. Yay, capitalism! Hooray! Alright. Well, that's not good. Yeah, that's everything from the vault. They had a fortune here. Ochaku looks a lot thinner in this panel. Job, we got the goods. Time to pull out, folks. No, wait. That money was all donated for the sake of the hungry children. Oh, so they're robbing charities. Good. Glad to know that the Rocks are such upstanding citizens. This is gonna hurt Randy Troy's theory that Blackbeard... sorry, not the Blackbeard. That Rocks was actually a good guy. And that his evil deeds were heavily exaggerated. We're putting a nail in that coffin right now, I can see. Liar, why is it collecting dust in your vault then? Oh, never mind. Hey, Wang Ji, hey. Lower the lift one more time. You're still down in the... Ugh, so much whining. Hey, Shiki. Oh? Right, I forgot about them. So long, suckers! Is that Captain John and Kaido? That he's just throwing a bomb at? More for the rest of us, you fools. Curses, they know about the grift for running. Where are the soldiers? They're almost here. Yes, your holiness. Close the temple gates. Eek iron bars. They're trying to lock us in here. Out of the way, Buckin. I'll smash them open. Okay. Pages 4 and 5. So we're seeing a heist of them robbing a fake charity that is embezzling money. Uh-oh. The ground is sinking. Oh, Whitebeard's using the whole tilting the sea thing. Shit's going down. It's an earthquake. He's doing this. Nuke. That's freaking out. Wang Ji's upside down in a panel. Our temple. Oh, so it was Newgate that was left at the bottom, like suckers with Kaido. Interesting. Now that we see it from the front. Yeah, all we saw was like a black coat with a white sash over it. So now that we see it from the front, that's Newgate with the black coat and the white sash. I'm jealous. Wish I had one of those. What, a fruit power? Take your time, choose wisely, or it'll be with you for life. That's a good point. Hey, who tried to bury me alive down there? It was you, Shiki. So yeah, Silver Axe was down there. Oh, why, if isn't my good friend Kyo, thank goodness you're alive. I was so worried, he says with a cheeky looking away from him smile. Kind of stupid games you playing over there. To let out people, I'll kill you. That treasure better be safe, of course, or say rocks. Look at the sea around us. What's going on? Are we gonna get a big, like, panel spread? Oh, nope, it's just the Navy. Navy has got him surrounded. We're on page 7 and 6. Alright. Vahaha. Looks like we've got trouble. Sometime find amongst yourselves back there. We gotta hit the waves. It's the Navy. It's too soon. They've been tipped off. Delay that. Don't hit the waves. Hit the enemy. Sink them all and take their loot. Alright, looks like we're skipping ahead 2 years again. Within just 2 years of their founding, the Rocks Pirates were responsible for 16 recorded raids, 76 sunken ships. That doesn't sound like a lot for 2 years. Somebody needs to go back and, like, count every single Navy ship like the Straw Hats have sunk at this point in the story. Because it's been, like, a little 2 years and some change. How many ships have they sunk? 14 ports burned to the ground, 5 towns leveled, 1 kingdom brought to ruin, 3 special violations of Article 18 of the World Law. What's Article 18? And 25 crimes that were completely covered up. Ooh, that's not a good sign either. Though the future king of the pirates, Goldie Roger, also sailed the seas at this time, these few years of frantic activity were known as the era of Rocks. Wow, so Rocks' era was 2 years. That's not a long time. Alright, pages 8 and 9. Enshi, New World. What do you want, Harold? Get lost. Unaffiliated countries are a lawless land in our eyes. The people who live in them have no rights. But it's not proper. The world government doesn't make all the rules in the world. Let those people go. When Elbaph was suffering from famine, they brought us food and asked for nothing in return. They are our friends and saviors. Help us, King Harold. Damn, what a great foreign policy guy. He's kind of screwing up domestic policy in Elbaph right now with the whole Loki situation, but boy, is he a great foreign policy leader. Now is the time to repay the debt we owe them. I will not back down from this. Listen, Harold, if you want to bring that up, Elbaph is still only a hopeful future member of the world government. If you aid us, it might benefit you, but if you protect an unaffiliated nation, it will only decrease your chances of joining. Now clear the way, Harold. Eek. None of these prisoners are people to us. Uh-oh. King Harold's jumping in with the big sword swing. He's gonna cleave that government ship in half. King Harold of Elbaph shows his true stripes after feigning allegiance to the government. He sinks an innocent warship. World Economic Journal. The World Economic Journal was still around back then? Who was running it at this point? What point of time on the timeline are we at? This has been like 40-something years ago, right? 45 years ago, give or take? Because we're still before, like, the incident at God Valley. That hasn't happened yet. So we gotta be like 42 to 45 years ago in the past at this point. The World Economic Journal has been around for that long, huh? Well, I told you that's what the government does. Ida's bar, Elbaph. Come on, Harold, let's share our drinks at the castle. Nonsense, I'm allowing a man of such infamy to my country. Join me, Harold. You and your whole country. Stop being so stubborn and just give up. I can't stand to see you bowing and scraping to the government anymore. Okay, so it's Rox pulling up to Ida's bar. Pages 10 and 11. Oh, he's gone bald at this point with the big horns. Mark my words, Elbaph will be part of the world government one day. And you think shaving your head will make them see your contrition? What kind of culture do you get that from? Yeah, Garp laughed at me too. Oh yeah, Garp was active at this point in time. That makes sense. So Garp met Harold. Write that in the lore books. Garp, you know how much he hates the brass he works for. He should just be a pirate already. It's an organization. It's an organization. Some are miscreants. But as a whole, the Navy works hard to save the lives on a daily basis. They've even begun to accept a number of recruits from Elbaph. Starting with John Giant. Ah, that's right, John Giant. Which means the whole Mother Carmel stuff is going down at this point. Is she still alive at this point? I think she's dead at this point, because Big Mom is actually operating as the Rocks Pirates. Like, Big Mom's in her 20s at this point. If only I could send more of our overly powerful warriors. I know their strength would go a long way towards helping the downtrodden. Sounds like the last thing I want to face out there. Come on, Ida, talk him out of this. Well, if Harold were my son, I think I'd say, choose better friends. Hey, that's not funny. That's really funny that Rox thinks he can get Ida to side with him. Oh, we're cutting to Navy HQ. All a giant has to do is roll over in his sleep, and he'll crush the human sleeping next to him. If they get angry and lose control, it could be life-threatening. How are we supposed to coexist with something like that? That's what the higher-up said, so speak for yourself. Isn't it a good thing for the Navy to have, though? Alright, we got some... got to get some zooming in here. Navy Vice Admiral Garp, Luffy's grandpa. Let's see, can I go into page by page? Yeah, let's go page by page. Garp's the Vice Admiral at this point. Luffy's grandfather, Navy Vice Admiral Sengoku, future Fleet Admiral. Navy Vice Admiral Otsuru, future Great Advisor. Navy Admiral Kong, future Commander-in-Chief. Harold's an honest, well-meaning man. He wants to change Elbaph's history. Rumor says that Rox has been trying to win him over. If he joins their crew, even the Navy might not be able to stop him. I know, but still. Sheesh, I'm trapped between a rock and a hard place. A rocks and a hard place, you might say. The problem is, historically speaking, they've been a vicious people. Yeah, and I want them on our side, Kong. Just bring Elbaph into the world government. You think that's up to me? I wish. It looks like Otsuru's hair is already white at this point. Because her hair's not colored in this panel. Alright, jumping to 12 and 13. Man, remember how this is supposed to be Loki's flashback? What is going on? Full of lead. 42 years ago. Okay, so this is the year that the, what's it called? God Valley incident happened. Hey, did you see this? It's a scandal. The papers are saying that Shakiyaku's not the captain of the Kuja Pirates anymore. Wait, was she ever the captain? I thought Gloriosa was the captain. Oh. Does that mean our chances of running across her at sea are basically zero now? This is devastating. I only went out to sea because I dreamed of being boarded by Shakiyaku one day. What is going on? People are collapsing. We've been wasting our best years of our lives. Come back to us, Shaki. What does Shaki think she's doing? So Gloriosa's here. So Gloriosa has joined the Rocks Pirates at this point, and we never saw how that happened. Didn't she quit because she wanted to chase after a man? Just like you did, Gloriosa? Even the Island of Women can't defeat love, it seems. Huh, I didn't expect you to understand the agony of true love with the way you crank out babies like popcorn. Wow, that's an insult. I find it hard to believe that she's got love sickness, though. If it's with Roger, I'll never forgive her. Now, that's Gloriosa. Hey, and here we have Buckin, looking just like how Stussy looks in the modern day. Everyone always talks about Shaki this, Shaki that. But never had eyes for anyone but me, right, Newgate? I've never had eyes for you at all. Okay, this is our first confirmation of that, I guess. What? But it's me, Miss Buckin. I could have any man in the world. So what's your problem? My problem is that I want you. That's obsessive and cute, but also, terrible. Look out, people. We got good news. What's up? The Kuja ship. It's by the shore. What? The Kuja ship is, like, rocking up on Full of Lead Island? What's going on with that? I have no clue where the story is going at this point. We have gone so far off the beaten path of learning what happened to Harold 14 years ago, which was the original purpose of this flashback. This is just turning into an abridged history of everything in the last 90 years. Alright, page 14 and 15. It was one of the most shocking days in the history of Pirate Island. Of all people, the untouchable idol herself, object of the world's desire, set foot into the lair of the wild, untamed beasts. Take care, Captain. The goddess has stepped onto our soil. I'm gonna be alright. I'm happy to... Thank you, Tritoma. I'll take it from here. Oh, so Tritoma's still alive at this point. So this is Pirate Island. Why is she here? There's no reason for someone like you. Take one more step onto this filthy island. Would you perhaps be looking to join the Rocks Pirates, like Lady Gloriosa did? Purdy. What a beauty. Nah. I want to live here for a little while. What? What is happening? I'm a pirate too, you know. I can quit the business, but the Navy's still after me. So I want to hide out here for a moment. Will you protect me? What is going on? Of course we will. It smells here. We'll clean it up. I'd like to open my own business. We'll build it right now. And we'll plant flowers. What is happening? Yo, what's all the ruckus? A bunch of numbskulls loitering about and causing a scene. It's the Rocks Pirates, oh no. Please, sirs, don't be angry. This was all our idea. Just don't kick her off the island. Oh my god. Top of page 16, I see a Shaggy's ripoff bar in the paneling. Oh my god. This was the famed establishment of the Pirate Island Fullerland. What the hell is this? Shaggy's ripoff bar, noted for its month-long waiting list. I'm so glad you came. Welcome. You're my very first customer. Won't you stop in and have a drink? There's an angel among... The whole Rocks crew's freaking out. Oh my god. This lone peony, blooming the blasted wasteland, brought beauty and comfort to the island. In time, she would become an irreplaceable treasure to the pirates who made this island home. And what is treasure if not something that can be installed? Are they implying Shocky is the treasure of Fullerland? Oh, you've got to be shitting me. That's where we're going with this? Oh, I can't get it open. We'll have... She's struggling with a... What is that? A bottle? Ah, that's bar spills. Nice. Oh, wait. The Hall of Power in Marijoa. This is a tiny panel. Give Harold this ultimatum, then. If you warriors of Elbaph meet the following requirement, you will be allowed to join the world government. Kill Rocks. Is that Marcus Mars on the phone right there? It's kind of hard to tell because he's got something covering his mouth. I can kind of barely make out his mustache, so I guess that's Marcus Mars. Well, so this was definitely a chapter. We're still in the flashback somehow. But now we've gotten some conditions for Elbaph to join the world government. Now, I don't remember if historically they ever did join the world government, so maybe they don't. So, obviously, the highlight of this chapter is Shaggy arriving on Fullerland. But the highlight for me is just this little last two panels, to be honest, at Marijoa. I love my 4 old guys in a chair and 1 old guy standing up. It's my favorite part of One Piece. I got a whole 2 panels of them this time. So getting the conditions for what allows Elbaph to join the world government, they're obviously trying to basically create a schism between Rocks and Harold. How successful that is or was remains to be seen. So I feel like we're skipping through the years a little bit too much, even for this flashback. Not that being said, don't know how much this flashback's trying to tell anything. I feel like I could have gone without this heist scene at the beginning. It's fun and all. This basically 4-page heist scene. 6-page, 7-page heist scene, I guess. But it doesn't really add anything to the story that we didn't already know. It just shows us that the Rocks crew are people that don't really work well together, and they caused a lot of incidents. We did get a nice big Oda box that basically elaborated how much chaos they caused in 2 years, and I would love to see, as I mentioned in the first read-through, I'd love to see somebody just take a snapshot of 2 years of the Straw Hats cruise and compare some records. Because, like, 16 raids, 76 sunken ships, 14 ports burned to the ground, 1 kingdom overthrown, and then 3 violations of Article 18, whatever that is, and 25 crimes that got covered up completely. So I want to see someone make a short list of everything the Straw Hats have done so far and compare it to that. Because that's a pretty nasty rap sheet. And then we get Harold freeing slaves. Good on you, Harold. Much respect. Loving you every time we see you. And this is honestly where I wish the chapter started. On page 8. Also, Legendary Bar was the name of the chapter. I thought this would be about Ida and Ida's bar. Boy, was my prediction wrong. This is actually about Shaki and Shaki's bar. Shaki's ripoff bar, which she would eventually later build on Sabaody? Did that open to similar fanfare, I wonder? Now I'm curious. We know that she ends up with Rayleigh at some point. And I guess because the Amazon Lily is not a protected island yet, that's probably why she has to settle here when you think about it. Amazon Lily is an unaffiliated nation, which means at any point they can just rock up and raid her on a daily basis and try to capture her. So it probably makes sense for her to try to find someplace to settle where it's under the protection of someone with a lot of power. So I can understand why Pirate Island is, or Full Ed, whatever name they're going by these days. It seems like an understandable why she would want to settle there. This is actually a concept that we've actually seen covered really, really early in the story with Captain Kuro. He couldn't retire as a pirate, so he went through that entire elaborate 3-year scheme to basically fake his death and then set himself up as a butler and then inherit wealth. People act like it was a bad plan and it was poorly thought out, but it's a plan out of necessity. And yes, I am going to glaze Kuro. I think he's an underrated villain. He's Kuro of 100 plans. Is there anything else I want to talk about in this chapter that really catches my attention? Oh, that's right. The interaction between Stussy and Newgate. That was fun. That was cute. We know that she has some sort of crush with Newgate, and we don't know where that goes. Maybe because, like, I still think the funniest plot twist ever is that Edward Weevil is, in fact, Whitebeard's son. That would be really hilarious. I think it'd be a really funny twist if it is actually Whitebeard's son, but Buchan isn't the mother. I think that'll be hilarious. And I'm a little bit disappointed that we gave an entire chapter to Gloriosa and Shaki last week with the Idols chapter. And all of a sudden Gloriosa here in this chapter is in the Rocks Pirates. And we, like, don't see how she ends up part of the Rocks Pirates. But Gloriosa being here, now that I think about it, might also be why Shaki thinks she can rock up here and it'll just be fine and work out. Because, in a way, if Gloriosa's here, she has at least someone that she can directly rely upon. I don't know how close their relationship actually is, and I actually would hope that Oda will flesh that out a little bit more. Either in SBS or in maybe just like a little bit of an interaction between the two of them that they could show in the present day or not. Because actually in present day, I believe Shaki and Rayleigh should be on Amazon Lily right now in the present day. Because they went there to save Boa after that incident that happened during the whole fiasco on Wano where Blackbeard and the Marines raided the island. I wonder if Shaki and Rayleigh are still there today. I guess we should go. That's enough highlights. I guess let's talk about some predictions. Where do I see the chapter going from here? Obviously, we're going to have to cut back to Harold. We're going to have to follow this Harold through line to see if he does anything to Rocks. And that they're heavily implying that Shaki, I guess, is the treasure of Hachinosu. Shaki probably gets kidnapped in the next chapter or the chapter after. They're definitely setting that up. I was one of the people that said for the longest time that I didn't think we were going to get a whole flashback for God Valley. But it's starting to look like we're just going to get it, and it's going to be part of this flashback. Which I need to remind you all, once again, is the Loki flashback that he is supposedly narrating to Haruden in the span of 3 minutes. On that note, I predict we have maybe like, at the rate we're going, we're 42 years of the past. We're going like 2 years a chapter. Fuck it. We got 24 more chapters of this flashback. I'm going to be real with y'all. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually do that. And we're going to have 42 more 20-something chapters or more of this flashback before we cut back to present day, where I actually really want to see what's going on with like the Dami Reversi and the Emu and the giants turning into ancient giants and demon batwings and whatnot. There's a lot of stuff going on. Also, before I forget, why did Harold shave his head? They made a joke about it, but we didn't get a straight answer. He honestly looks more intimidating without his hair. Because it makes him look from like a scary guy. He kind of looks like Stainless when you get a close-up on his face. He looks like Stainless with horns. For people who remember, like, what was it, Vice Admiral Stainless. But then without it, he kind of looks like a Hell's Angel biker with horns. He's got, like, the horn-pronged cape, shoulder blades as well. With, like, the scale mail and he looks like he's a Hell's Angels biker gang kind of guy. I'm basically just filling time at this point. I don't think there's much more for me to add to the story predictions wise. We're kind of riffing at this point. I also just remembered that we're in emote only mode, so that's not important. Well, I guess we'll just end things here. Reminder to everybody that we are going to try to do this every week, unless there is a break week. So I will see you all next week for this stream if you're here for listening to me ramble and react to the most recent One Piece chapter. I have no clue why we're focusing so much on rocks, outside of the fact that I guess the fans want it. I've gotten more than what I wanted at this point, and I would like to just kind of move the story along at this point. But anyway, if you want to get more of my opinion, best way to do that would be to join the Discord. Links to that will be in the About page here on Twitch or the description if you're watching this on YouTube. Anywho, I have a lot of videos. I have 3 streams of just the most recent Honkai Star Rail story to edit. I have like 9.5 hours worth of footage I need to edit. And then on top of that, I still have like a cooking show event to stream. So that'll probably be the next live stream. The next live stream will probably be me streaming the Honkai Star Rail grand cooking show, whatever is going on with the fairies. Look forward to that if you watch that content. And if there's any other content you'd like me to cover, let me know. I'm open to suggestions. Moving forward, I'm about to be a lot more busy. The school year's starting proper, so I'm going to be less available Monday through Thursday. I'll still try to do my streams in and around like the 8 to 9 p.m. time. That's ideally when I'm going to be streaming from now on. It's going to always be late at night here on the Pacific Coast. And for the most part, that's all we got. I'm going to still try to stream twice a week, but we might have to go back down to once a week. Luckily, these chapters usually come out on a Sunday, and if I'm not like dead tired from work when I get home from work, I could take like a nice 2-hour nap, come on, stream this for like 30 to 40 minutes, and then there'll always be at least this stream. So we're probably going to try to go transition to maybe just 1 stream a week moving forward for an indeterminate amount of time, maybe till like November, December. There might be some days where we get an extra stream in, but last week, 5 streams, don't expect that to be the norm, especially moving forward. Anywho, that's all for now. I'll see you all in the next stream, the next video, or wherever it is I see you. Stay safe out there. Bye-bye.